Chris Level here with another edition of Pirate Talk with the head coach of the Lubbock-Cooper Pirates, Chip Darden. We'll talk some football here with the head coach here in a little bit. Did want to thank the folks at Texas Tech Federal Credit Union for being a sponsor of these podcasts. We appreciate their support. Texas Tech Federal Credit Union, home of the HERO program. That's a $1,000 closing credit on a home loan for educators, military, and first responders. So, again, certainly appreciate them. We are through Halloween. Did you survive?
Yeah, barely, but we're good.
It's good when it's in the rear view.
Yeah, it is.
I'm.
There is a lot of candy at the house, which is a positive.
That's always when you can really teach. You parent well. There is that you kind of sort. This is how mom and dad work, man. Let me see what you got. Okay, I'll have these.
Exactly.
And then you can have the rest.
Yeah, candy corn, you got it. Hey, though, I think I've come to the conclusion that Monday might be the worst day of the week for Halloween because we had to trick-or-treat Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Oh, we piggyback the weekend. Yes.
Yeah, we need that in the middle of the week, one night. Let's do it. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And we also had our youngest at our house crawling now.
Yeah.
Is that so? Are we into everything?
Oh, yeah. That's
so our man Cannon, okay.
Yep. We kind of my wife Stacy and I kind of looked at each other when he's crawling. We're like, well, dang.
Here,
now,
party's over.
Yeah, with a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old in the house, we're going to be scrambling to make sure there's not something, he's not eating something he doesn't need to.
Yeah, or bumping into everything. Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel there. And you also had pineapple on your pizza over the weekend, and I hope you survived. I hope you didn't get sick. Yeah,
it was so
good. Not good. It's wrong-headed thinking.
Pineapple, jalapeno, man, and the thing is, the meat you can change it. Like we went Canadian bacon. You can go just regular bacon. Oh, it's just solid chicken.
You can do all kinds of things, like not make a wrong decision by putting fruit on a pie. Okay, so we'll talk. We knew this was going to be a tough game last Friday night, and this was kind of district championship type stuff. And Tascosa was really good. I mean, there's no shame in coming up short there. But let's just talk about it a little bit. It was kind of a tale of two halves, in some ways, and that was toe to toe, 14-14 at halftime. You guys are running the ball really well. They'd made a few plays, and then it just didn't go your way in the second half. But where do you want to start there?
Yeah, proud of our guys that our guys fought the entire game, even right there to the end. They got a fourth down or third down conversion that ended up running the clock out at the end, but we fought to the end. Our guys wanted to come off the ball and when they're kneeling it down and try to make something happen, and it just shows that they fought no matter what. Our guys were disappointed, which I think we're glad that they're disappointed, but we also know the long-term goals and that we've got to use it to be better. But hats off to Tascosa. Their coaching staff just did a really good job. They their best football player, number one, he's a top 20 player in Texas, and I've put it on record that I think he'll play in the NFL someday. They moved him around a lot, and so we weren't real sure what they would do with him. They were short inside linebackers, had some injuries. Well, they put one of their D linemen back there. Anyway, I just thought their coaching staff, I'll take all the blame for the loss. I thought their coaching staff did a good job. When we took some stuff away with their offense, they adjusted and kind of hit us in other areas. But our guys fought. It was just a good district championship game. I mean, it was just one of those that's funny. We offensively, we go up 14-7, and I think we snapped it 15 times the rest of the game, and that's how Tascosa, that's how they play. They out-executed us in all three phases, and they deserve to win. But I think our guys are good, and I think it would be different coming off of a loss, and you go, man, our guys didn't fight or we didn't prepare well enough. I just think they made some plays, and they got the win. If we play again, I think it could be reversed.
Yeah. And it's you mentioned that about not having that many snaps. 7 possessions total for you guys?
6.
Okay, mm-hmm. And one of those possessions was the very first one, which was a 3-and-out. So you really only get 5 after that. But it's not like they're these giant chunk plays against you. It's 5 here, 6 here. You guys played good defense. But that's the frustrating thing about playing against a scheme like that. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Sure.
It's hard. And you guys played the perimeter, I thought, very well.
Yeah,
I
thought our defensive staff did a really good job. That was kind of the thought coming in. Their slots that go in motion and that they pitch it to.
Wing backs.
They're just really talented, and kind of that was the thought process. Let's take them away, and I thought we did a really good job taking them away. Then they hit us with some quarterback stuff, and I thought we adjusted, made good halftime adjustments to kind of slow it down. But it just one of those deals. They're really good at it, and they're a really good team. They're top 10 in the state. But our goal and kind of what we talked about afterwards is there's a lot of time in between there, but let's play them again. That'd be a fourth round playoff matchup. Let's get there and let's play them again. And, so that's the guys' goal, and we've had a good week. I get questions a lot about that. How do your guys respond, and how do you turn around from that? But shoot, they got opportunity to play another football game, and we told them this morning, said, seniors, you're guaranteed 3 more practices. Like, you think about that. Think about all the football you've played. Some of them played since they're 5 years old, and you're guaranteed 3 more practices. So they get an opportunity to play, and there's no worry about how they're going to play Friday night. They're going to come out and play hard just like they did last week.
Yeah, in time of possession, I think 31 minutes to 17 minutes. This is one of those games that went by really fast. That's what I think. What I hear you saying is you don't want to let that game beat you twice.
Sure,
you have another opportunity and all those things. And we'll talk about the last regular season game against Caprock here in a little bit. But I wanted to highlight too. I thought you guys ran the ball extremely well in the first half. I mean, Jackson Austin goes over 100 yards in the middle of the second quarter, I think, and you're just not doing anything tricky, just running it right at him, right up the gut.
Yeah, a little different. I thought our offensive staff had a really good plan. You see us a lot of times, what we call getting big, where we'll put tight ends, multiple backs, and we're playing football in a small box. We kind of thought the game plan would be better with them to spread it out a little bit and run it, and executed that well. Jackson ran really well. Thought he made some, he's got a little juice to him, as we might say, where he can make some guys miss. And first possession of second half, I'd like to have back. I didn't like the third and fourth down call on my part. You can do that in any game, but especially one that you lose, a close game. But then after that, our last 2 possessions, we're kind of playing a different game. We knew how long they can control the clock, that we kind of had to throw it. We kind of had to start playing with a little more tempo, and so changed a little bit. But I think that game made us better, and I think if we're in that position down the road, that we're going to be in a better spot to execute a little bit better.
And you start throwing it, and that's when number 1 pins his ears back, and that's what he's exceptional at, Avion Carter. And you mentioned that the sun comes up the next day. You've got more opportunities. It's not the end of the world. It's not how you want it to go, but salute, move on, and here we go. I mean, and so with that, you have a unique situation because you were just brutally honest with your kids. You've told your kids this, your players and everything. There's really, other than your record and just wanting to win, there's not any tangible anything on the line versus Caprock on Friday night. It doesn't change anything as far as your postseason outlook on where you're seated, the fact that you're hosting the first round game. So it's just kind of playing for the love of the game and like finishing it the right way, getting a good taste in your mouth and all that. Speak to your approach this week as far as how you attack that.
Yeah, and I think we are honest with our kids all the time. I
love
we
that
try
too.
to let them know exactly what it is, but yeah, I also think if we sit there and as a team we talk a lot about that, we're not defined 100% by wins and losses. It's how we're going to do things every day. It's how we're going to be about a process and getting better. If you're going to be about that, then this game is just as important as if it was the district championship, because our goal is to get better this week. And so our guys have done that. Like I said, there was never a concern. Now, if I got to this point here on Wednesday and I've seen us, slacking off or kind of having a bad week, then I might be concerned, but that's not the case. And the guys they want to get better, and they do have a bad taste in their mouth. They want to win, and I think there's a sense that they let the program down, and we've told them all week that's not the case. You guys y'all done nothing but represent the program the exact way that we hope you would. So they've got an opportunity to play another game, last regular season game. Seniors are excited, and I think it comes at a perfect time to get on the road. We've said that before. We like to get on the road. There's less distractions, and we pride ourselves in being a good road team. So
you had as many distractions as you could possibly factor in to the last one with what was on the line and senior night and all those things. Can you ever be too honest with your kids? I mean, where did you get that approach? Because I think some coaches aren't like this, and you see it in professional ranks all the time. They're not telling the whole truth to the media or to the whoever, and you don't know what they're conveying to their team. But you're like, here's the facts, fellas.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of it I look at when I played that, a coach tell you, hey, these guys they're really really good, and we better. And then you watch film and you're going, no, they're not. And I think sometimes then it's I don't know. I feel like the kids just respond better.
Can't believe a coach, yeah.
And so most of the time we're going to say, hey, if depending on the situation, if we play well, we can beat these guys handily, or we can win this game, whatever. But there's also an honesty factor in that our margin for error is not huge, so we're going to have to play well every game. But I don't know really where that came from. But
well, I respect it. I appreciate it. If I was a player, I would certainly like that instead of just being kind of tricked or games and all these things that some coaches can get into. Yeah. Let's talk about the next opponent. Caprock is up next, and Coach Sherwood does a good job. He's been there for a while, I think, and they're kind of been this plucky team that just plays you close, has won some games, but they're gonna play hard. Blue collar work ethic.
That's a great way to describe them. We actually played them 2 years ago, the COVID season that was kind of jacked up. We had to find a game late, and we ended up picking them up just on a 1-year deal. Yeah. And at that point we didn't know a ton about them, got a little bit of film, whatever, but they were just tough, hard-nosed. And I think that their history is to kind of play big in big games. And you look at this year, like you can go look at their scores, and it's just kind of crazy. It's all over the place. But I also think they've dealt with some injuries. But they should have beat Caprock. Tascosa. They had them beat. If their quarterback doesn't get hurt, I think they probably beat Tascosa. And they beat Coronado by 3 scores. So they're good, and they do some things. They've got a player, a safety, plays wildcat quarterback, little running back that we were saying we're not so sure he's not the best player we've played against all year. He's just really talented Division I player.
And what jersey number does he wear?
Number 1.
What is the deal with number 1s up in Amarillo?
I don't know.
I thought the same thing.
I'm done with them.
Yeah, you were mentioning that on Monday morning. I'm like, what is the deal with number 1s in Amarillo? Because there's some ones up there that are phenomenal players. Didn't want to make sure that I mentioned Jackson Austin was the offensive MVP from last week's game. Cutter Douglas, I have not heard of this. 22 tackles, and I think 13 or 14 of those were solo, maybe even more than
15,
that.
I think.
15 solo tackles. Yeah. You're going to miss him.
Yeah. Cutter said after the game, we're in the locker room, and he's kind of leaving, getting his laundry put in or whatever, and he kind of mentioned to somebody, said, I like playing against that offense. As an inside linebacker, you love it. You're going to be in on a whole lot of plays.
Yeah. And whereas the corner is probably like, I hate it.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they're just waiting for the one time they may get burnt, and they have to still play the pass and all that stuff. But, yeah, for a middle linebacker, it's a dream.
Yeah.
Tackles list. Let's see. Cutter Douglas had 22, folks. Carson Bradshaw had 11. Ty Polite had 10, and Chris Carrillo had 8. So I thought that was and then Cal Ritz, special teams MVP, had a couple of nice returns, set you guys up.
Yeah, I thought those were the returns were pretty big momentum plays in the game. Kind of settled us down, after giving up a touchdown or two, and kind of allowed our offense to have a little field position. But Cal's done that a lot. He's explosive. He can change a game.
He lets it bounce, and it makes me nervous. And then the one time he lets it go, and I think down at the 1, and I think you guys drove 99 yards.
We did, yeah.
So you let him off the hook. I'm sure you're like, just field it down. It would save us some.
He's just trying to get us some more offensive yards.
No,
that's all he's doing.
That's right. I love it. But so this Caprock team, let's talk about schematically. Like, what do they? We knew Tascosa flex bone.
Yep.
Other teams that you have played, like Coronado and Monterey, they're going to throw it all over the field. What do we expect here from Caprock? They seem to be very balanced, almost as balanced as you could
Yeah, they're probably, as the year's gone on, they're a higher run. On our games that we break down, we've got them 70-something% run. I think they're going to be close to us. They do some different formations. They're going to let you know they're going to get in big sets and run right at you, and they've had some success doing that, letting number one catch the snap. You'll see them at times where running back, quarterback are in, and they'll just shift over, and quarterback will go lead block for the running back, and it's a good scheme. They have really big offensive linemen, get tight splits, and they're just trying to move the pile. So they're good on offense, and then defensively they base out of a 3-4. We've seen a lot of 3-4 teams. Dumas is a good example of kind of how they play on defense, and
which I think is about. I mean, I know your thoughts about Dumas from talking to you in the summer about the opener. That's about as good a compliment as you can give a team.
Oh yeah. They play hard. Yeah. Number 5 is an inside linebacker there is that we just think is a really good football player, and everything's going to be earned, I think, on both sides of the ball. You know, if we miss a line, if we don't run to the ball, things like that, then they're gonna hurt us. So good team, and they got a lot to play for. They still have a chance to make the playoffs, but they have to win to have a shot. So they got a lot to play for.
And obviously, you're at the scene and the locale of you had some success there a few weeks ago in that same stadium. So I'm sure that your kids will have some confidence.
Yeah, I hope so.
Walking into Dick Bivens Stadium. Hopefully, it won't be as cold and rainy as it was the first time.
Although forecast it.
Okay, maybe so. Yeah. And you never know; it could be 70 and then 20. You just like within 10 minutes.
This is for everybody watching, listening. If when you go to Amarillo, July, December, it doesn't matter. You take a coat because it might get cold.
That's right. Yeah, and within 10 minutes of each other, you're just not real sure. I did want to because it is already set. With what you can tell viewers, listeners, whatever, from a playoff standpoint, nothing will change based on this game as we've just talked about. So. How much planning are you looking at that with what you can share about when the playoff game would be for planning purposes and just kind of how that would work for people that are wanting to see one more home game here and attend that?
So we will push for Friday, and we've been in talks. The El Paso district there's a chance for a 3-way tie, so we could play one of 3 teams. We've spoken to some of them and trying to get a Friday, and I think if there's one team that will for sure go Friday, but that you never know.
And that would be November the 12th.
Correct.
I think is the date.
Correct.
Yes. Okay.
And sometimes in those games, don't know for sure here, but sometimes because they've got to come from El Paso, we might try to bump a game time up to allow them
earlier,
leave them a hour or two getting home. Not at 5 a.m., get home at 3 a.m. type deal. But we will push all that out. Hope to know something Friday night, but again, them being on Mountain Time, sometimes we won't get in touch, and sometimes that can be difficult. So it might be Saturday at some point, but we'll push that out as soon as we get confirmation on it.
Where are you at on time zones?
I don't know where I should be on time zones.
This is just me being selfish, but I think Central Time Zone should be the only one. It seemed too early, too late, and then there's like the Mountain Time Zone is like this tricky in between. It's very confusing, or it can be, and it causes lots of problems because of travel and like when you drive somewhere, it's like, okay, what time is it? Okay, what's the anyway.
Math is hard.
Well, it can be, yeah, especially when your sweet phone over here won't catch up to the time zone or whatever.
Doubt.
But math is hard, man. I'm not here to poke fun at anybody, but I struggled at math. I mean, it's a thing. Okay, so anyway, time zones. Yeah, there you go. You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know.
So you like your thumbs up on the Mountain Time Zone.
I mean.
Or just indifferent to it.
I get it. I get why they do it, right?
Yeah, daylight savings, which is
now
this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little different.
Is it?
Yeah,
okay.
That's a little different.
Okay.
But this one is great, getting an extra hour.
Yeah, I know. I wish we could just do that both times because the one in the spring is like, oh, it's brutal when you take an hour away. But yeah, so don't forget you set your clocks back this weekend, people. I think that's this Saturday night and all that. Okay, so. Now comes the fun part of the program here. We get to put Coach Darden on the old hot seat here. These have been fun. Okay, here we go. You've got youngsters. We talked about Cannon crawling around now and all that stuff. So I bet this is a big thing in your house these days is Disney movies and Disney Channel and all those things. Coach Darden's favorite Disney movie.
Currently or like of all time?
You call it, man. And you can have one of each.
Yeah, I'm gonna go currently. My kids, and maybe it's not a Disney, but Encanto or Encanto. I don't know how to pronounce.
I haven't seen this one.
Oh yeah, it's a musical. My daughter is all about. I can sing all the songs. I don't prefer to.
Please don't.
Yeah. Usually my daughter stops me if I kind of start singing in the background.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
You're embarrassing me, Dad.
She can act it out, and so. But it's pretty good. That's a pretty solid.
Okay.
One.
Do you have like an all-time one?
Man, back in the day, I don't know, probably not.
Okay.
The original Lion King is.
That's a
solid choice.
Because man, I'm telling you, when you're a parent with little kids, man, you forget about the rest of the world. Everybody else is watching. Have you seen this show and this show? No, you're like, nope. But I can tell you all the
Bluey.
Disney ones.
I can tell you what's going on in the latest Bluey episode for sure.
There you go. See, and I'm serious when I say this. I don't even know who that is or what's going on there.
It's a solid show. Okay, it's got a little adult humor in there.
Okay, there you go for the parents. What were you most afraid of as a kid?
Man, like for real, I'm outing myself.
That's what this is all about, man. We're an open book here.
Aliens, when I was a kid, used to scare the dog out of me. Like I thought, I did. I used to get scared of.
There's no such thing.
I know. Well, I know that now. I didn't know that when I was 6, but I thought that was how I was supposed to answer that.
Isn't it like Area 51 or whatever?
Yeah, I was interested in all that.
Mountain Time Zone.
I was interested in that.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Go watch Independence Day.
Yeah. Here's a deep question.
Oh man.
Would you rather have more time or money?
Oh, time. If you'd asked me that about 10 years ago, I would have said money 100%.
Yeah, time is the most precious commodity for sure.
Yeah.
And we never have enough time in the day. We're always, and then you want more time with loved ones. You want more time with kids. You want more time with your players.
Correct.
You want more time with all those things. If Led Zeppelin and Dwight Yoakam are tops, who's next?
Well, I do like a little grunge, and so for me, Pearl Jam is like just for my personal preference, Pearl Jam.
Seattle, kind of that era. Yeah. Okay.
And like if we're talking greatest of all time, like you're not.
I just asked you who's
for
next.
me. It's Pearl Jam.
Okay, that's iconic. I can't really.
Saw them in Lubbock, and what year was that? In '99? Yeah, no, 2000, 2001.
It was in the arena.
Yeah,
so
it was awesome.
The arena was built in around 2000. Yeah, good. That's a good call there.
Yeah. And they recorded a live. They released a live album for every show that tour.
And there's one on Lubbock.
Live in Lubbock's awesome.
Yep, that's
Played
right.
a Buddy Holly song. Solid.
Yeah, and I think that's on iTunes somewhere. You can go find that one. Yeah. What is something you're proud of that not many people know about you?
Man, these are putting me on the spot. I can't.
That you're no longer afraid of aliens.
I am not.
I'm just
kidding. Of aliens
you
anymore.
moved on. Yeah, that's right. No, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I don't know. I guess everybody probably knows, but just like being proud of your kids, and I don't know that you can say one thing, but just I don't know when you watch your kids. I got to see my daughter today at a field trip, and just I kind of walked in as they were walking in, and I don't know.
Yeah,
when you see them interact and I don't know. She was
acting
right.
Trying to figure out life. Trying to figure out life.
That just makes you proud of them.
Okay.
I would say. I don't know. That was a terrible
answer,
that's okay.
Probably. That's okay. I mean, some of these are hard. I don't know what I would have said if you asked me the same thing. If you were going to Starbucks, and
I'd go to Dunkin' Donuts. But.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
they're out,
Starbucks.
Okay, your favorite coffee place. How about that? And they're out of just normal drip coffee, and you've got to order something. Your go-to order would be what?
Water.
No, you got. It's cold outside.
Hot chocolate. Okay. Can I get hot chocolate?
Yeah, you copped out there.
I was trying to pin you down. I can't think of a coffee drink that I would.
Trying to pin you down there.
I can't think of a coffee drink that I would order. I really can't.
Yeah, you're
Americano maybe.
Yeah, that's just espresso and water.
There you go. So there you go.
That's it. Well, I tried, people. Well, Coach,
we're not done. Now we're going to flip it on you.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Hey, welcome to Learn About Level.
Did you know about this, Colton? No? Okay.
With our man, Chris Level
and
here.
If I don't like it, we're just going to cut.
All right, you got 5 choices here. You get to choose a category. You've got famous people, the Level family.
Oh, so this is like Jeopardy?
A little bit.
Okay.
Pro sports.
How much time did you do?
choose or LCP football trivia. And you're going to answer these questions.
Okay.
Or, yeah, you're going to do all of them, so you can choose one. I'm going to ask them all to you, though, as long as we got time.
Did you pick the category? Yeah, you picked the category.
All right, let's do pro sports first. Some of these are softballs, some are a little tougher.
Okay.
If you could only watch one team play the rest of your life, pro sport, doesn't matter the sport, but one team, who is it?
Dallas Cowboys.
Really? You're a big Cowboys fan. Even with Jerry Jones?
Yeah, my grandfather was a season ticket holder way back at Texas Stadium, and so when I was growing up, if my grandmother didn't want to go, he would take me to the games.
Sweet.
And so, I mean, yeah, that's a no. I mean, and again, they've been this all the time, and I get it. But I'm extremely loyal and and all that, so I follow them closely.
All right, going to make you choose here. If University of Texas and Texas Christian are playing in football, who do you root for? You have to root for one.
I wish the ball would go flat and just sit there at midfield and everybody goes home with a draw, to use a soccer term.
Nope, you got to pick one.
I will not. This particular year, I'll do that.
Really?
This particular year,
really?
Yes.
Even with Sonny at the helm at
I don't
Texas
care.
Christian.
I don't care. I don't. Okay. I'm sorry. I mean, you coached the wrong team. If it was, and just so I'm transparent here,
going on this.
If it was Texas that was 8-0 right now, and TCU was whatever, I would be rooting for the Horned Frogs.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want. You know what? Misery loves company, and if my team can't win the whole thing, I don't want anybody that nearby that's going to win it either. Sorry.
Okay. We can add to this later if we need to. That hit a nerve, I feel like.
Well, yeah, you're.
Yeah, let's hit a tough one here. Level family is a category.
Okay.
Who's your favorite child?
I love them both equally.
That's a
It
cop-out.
depends on what day it is.
That's a cop-out.
Right now it's probably the one that's in the house because I don't see my other one all the time, and so.
But it might be.
She's more focused. Yeah, that's
say there
true.
it might be the other way around.
No, I love my daughter's at Oklahoma State, and then I've got the freshman now. So.
Who's the most famous person you've met? You've probably met some famous people.
Yeah, and it's funny. I don't typically get starstruck much, but when I've met Dennis Rodman before, which nice. That kind of was I was like, whoa, yeah, that was a big deal for me just because I watched those Bulls teams growing up. When we were at the Final Four, I got to hang out with Ernie Johnson.
Oh, that's cool.
TNT, and talk to him quite a bit. Yeah. Super class act. Because I'm in my craft, you doing the broadcasting stuff. I talked to Bill Raftery one time. Yeah. At Allen Fieldhouse. So those were some of the things. But I don't know if I'm most famous. Geez, I don't know. Yeah. How about? Do you have one for that most famous person ever? Because some of it is like it depends on who you are and what you're into.
Yeah.
If that's famous because some people may go, "Who's Ernie Johnson?
Right.
Who's Bill Raftery?"
Laura Bush, my aunt and uncle were really good friends with them when he was governor. So
and I've met President Bush and Laura before too, and they're great people and all that. But I wouldn't have political stuff. Yeah, I don't. I'm more of athletics.
Yeah, I got you. All right, your last one. It's LCP football trivia.
Okay.
Who is the single season tackle leader at Lubbock-Cooper?
Is it Cutter Douglas?
I don't know. Is that it's relevant, but it might not be relevant for why you think it is.
That would be well. You know what? I'll say I'm going to guess.
And it's 151 tackles.
It's either going to be Kobe McKenzie or Cutter Douglas, and maybe I'm failing. It's not one of those two, but I would guess one of those two. I'm going to say Kobe McKenzie.
It is Tate Langston, and that's relevant because that is a Taylor Langston Peters, her brother. Yeah. Single season.
Don't hate me, Taylor. Oh, wow. I would not know. How many tackles did Cutter Douglas have last year?
He was like 130-ish.
Yeah,
yep.
okay.
He was close.
And what does he have this year?
I would need to look.
Okay.
I don't know if he's over 100 yet.
Okay. Well, 22 in one game
that helps.
Certainly put you. Well, you know what? Touche. I deserve that. I'm going to expect that next week too. That was fun. Hopefully everybody wasn't annoyed with that. I can't believe that you actually took your time.
That's been a couple weeks. I've been thinking about doing it, and this was the week.
Okay, very good, very good. Pulled out the old cell phone. Okay, well, anyway, we've taken up enough of you people's time. We certainly appreciate you watching us. This has been another edition of Pirate talk and
Learn about levels.
That's right. There you go. There you go. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening.